So this neutrality question in teaching is very, very difficult. It's difficult for an individual teacher who obviously has views and it may be afraid of indoctrinating students. And as one of the obvious points to make is that there's no such thing as neutrality. I mean, the very fact that you're teaching certain subjects instead of other ones, that you're asking kids to act in certain ways in your classroom and so on, it's all full of values and value judgments. There's no such thing as neutrality. I mean, why study George Washington? You could be studying a current foreign leader, for example, or you're studying it because you think that certain things matter more to the kids, are more important, so you're making value judgments. And yet, on the other hand, the other extreme, if a teacher stands up there and tells you you must vote, or you ought to vote for the Democrats, or Jesus is your personal savior or something, that's completely out of bounds in a public school. So you have a difficult middle ground. And there are really interesting debates about should the teacher disclose his or her own views or not. Is it better to kind of pretend you don't have any, or to say that you do have some, but the students are free to have different views? Those are interesting questions. I guess my fundamental thought is we ought to risk a certain amount of controversy, because the alternative is that you pretend that you have no values in the school, so you don't have any intellectual or social content, and you do have values. I mean, you still have a football team. You still have a Coke machine in the aisle. You still are telling the kids they have to be there on time and call the teachers by their last names. And you're doing a whole lot of things which transmit values, but you're just parceling off a certain kind of set of values as inappropriate, and that in itself is a message, which is that politics is not safe.